How's it going, everybody? It's Frisby Moonsong here. Yow! And today what we are looking at is a cool new deck list that I promised you guys that I'll show you. And this is really, really exciting and this is cool. As you can see, it is labeled Umi. Yes, Umi. We are ready for this deck to come out. Obviously, we have the legendary duelist. I believe the fish stuff for the Mako Tsunami coming out soon. And this is some of the stuff that's going to be in here. I hope everything is going to be in here, but we're going to see. Obviously, there's all the stuff. So we'll see what surprises we have in store in this deck and how to play it. So here we go. Some of the stuff is just like thrown together. This is just the deck list I've been playing with. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So first of all, we have 3 Phasalia, which is a really cool, exciting new jellyfish monster. Really good card. So I will read the card effect to you so you can understand what it does. You can send 1 Umi from your hand or deck or face up on the field to the grave to special summon 1 water monster from your hand. So this is basically your starter. It's really, really good. It helps you get your water monsters from your hand, especially your higher level ones. It gets you 2 on the field, which is really nice. When your opponent activates a spell card or effect or a monster effect while Umi is on the field, quick effect, you can negate that effect and then you make this card gain 600 attack and defense. That is permanently, and you can only use each effect of Phasalia once per turn. So this is a really good negation for spells and monster effects, and it allows you to get your starter off. So even if you have your field spell on the field, it cannot be veiled, which is really, really cool, really, really nice. That is the first main card of the deck that you really, really need, and this is the main boy of the deck. We have Kaioshin Leviathan, which is a really strong card. People are going to underestimate what this deck can do, and I'm really excited to give it a shot when it comes out. So, Leviathan says, when Umi is on the field, each player can only control 1 face-up non-water monster. If a player controls 2 or more face-up non-water monsters, they must send some to the graveyard, so they control only 1. So this is basically like a Kaiser Coliseum, only controlling 1 monster. Really, really exciting. Almost like a it's kind of like a they can be only 1 in a way, which is really, really cool. And during your main phase, you can add 1 Umi, 1 Kaioshin, or 1 Sea Stealth spell or trap from your deck to your hand, and you can only use this effect of Kaioshin Leviathan once per turn. So it's basically your floodgate monster that's on the board. So usually you would use Phasalia to summon Leviathan, and then you use Leviathan to search, which is your combo, which is really, really cool. And then we have the Doom Kraken. Everyone was excited about Doom Kraken. If Umi is on the field, quick effect, target 1 water monster you control, except Doom Kraken, and 1 monster your opponent controls, special summon this card from your hand. If you do, return the targeted monster to the hand, and if you do, destroy that opponent's monster. So it basically is like a free return to summon to pop, which is really cool. And when your opponent declares an attack, you can return this card to the hand to negate the attack, allowing its effect to go off again next turn. You can only use each effect once per turn, so it's really cool. You will be playing 2 of those. So 3 Phasalia, 3 Kaioshin, and 2 Doom Kraken, which is really cool. Then you play the one-off Yorishiro of the Aqua, which is one of the recursions of the deck. You don't always play it, but it's really cool. You can banish this card from your grave, target 1 Umi in your grave to add to your hand, so that's really niche in case you run out of Umis. And you can target 1 water monster in your graveyard, apply one of these effects, but you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except water, which doesn't matter because you don't really summon anything else. Until the end phase, this card's level and name become that monster's, or if Umi is on the field, special summon that monster in defense position. So that is your special summon from grave for free, which is really, really nice. Then we have the 1 Warrior of Atlantis, which is a level 4 1900 attack beat stick, but you can also discard it to add a legendary ocean from your deck to your hand, which is also known as Umi. So that's really, really cool. Then we have Mega Fortress Whale, the one-off, which is really strong. If Umi is on the field, you can activate this effect. Your water monsters can attack directly this turn. That is insane. Like, you don't even care what kind of a board your opponent has. This is insane. And during your opponent's battle phase, quick effect, you can target 1 face-up monster they control and destroy it. So it's a really nice destruction on your opponent's turn. I know it's only during battle phase, but it's really good interruption. And if this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can take one water warrior monster from your deck or graveyard, either add it to your hand or special summon it. That makes this card really, really cool, because the card you can summon that we have chosen to be the one warrior water monster you play in your deck is General Raiho of the Ice Barrier. It says when your opponent's monster activates an effect on the field that resolves, they must discard one card or the effect is negated. This is really strong for reducing your opponent's advantage, even though they keep activating monster effects on the field. It's a really good card, and it's, I mean, a 2/1 beat stick, which is really, really nice. It's a free summon, it's a one-off, and it costs 1 tribute, which is really, really nice because you don't really do your summons as much. Then for the rest of the monsters, obviously we don't really need our extra deck for this deck, so you play 1 Ecclesia, the Dogmatica Saint, which we know what it does, and we play 1 Dogmatica Maximus. So we play the Ecclesia, and or should I say the Virtuous, because the Saint is the OCG name. But yes, we play Ecclesia, and we play 1 Maximus, which is obviously really, really good. That means you can spam your extra deck with other things. Also, another option you can play is you can play Cherries, and you can play a whole bunch of Cherries targets, which is cool, but you'll see why I like this in a moment. Then we play 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, because we need negation. Then for the spells, you play 1 Terraforming, which is obviously to search your Legendary Ocean, which is the main crux of your deck. Your field spell is what helps all your effects go off, and it also makes all waters on the field gain 200 attack and defense, and reduce the levels of all waters in both players' hands on the field by 1, which is really cool because it makes Leviathan a level 4, which makes it a free normal summon if you have this in hand. Then the new spell that we hope is coming out, I do believe it's coming out in the set, but I hope it is. I know this is an OCG. Fish Sonar. You can add 1 level 7 or lower water monster that is a normal monster or specifically lists Umi in its text from your deck to your hand. Then if Umi is on the field, you can special summon 1 water normal monster from your deck. So usually you don't use the second effect, but the one that searches a card that lists Umi is really cool because you can search basically any of these monsters over here, which is perfect. It's just like nice consistency for the deck. Then you play 1 Sea Stealth 2, which is really good. This card's name becomes Umi while it's on the field or in the grave, so it's another Umi, and your opponent cannot target water monsters you control with non-water monster effects, so it prevents you from being Veiled, it prevents you from being Chi-Shelled, a whole bunch of things like that, which is really, really cool. And at the start of battle phase, you can special summon 1 monster that specifically lists Umi in its text, or 1 water normal monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, but destroy it at the end of battle phase. Now there's a way to working around this that you'll see later on in the deck. Then we play the 1 Rage of Karishin, obviously to search off the Karishin, the Leviathan. If Umi is on the field, target monsters your opponent controls up to the number of water monsters you control, whose original levels are 5 or higher, destroy them, and if you do, those zones cannot be used until the end of next turn, allowing you to lock out some link zones that your opponent may make, which is really, really cool, but it's also just really good spot removal because it's a quick play as well. Then we play 3 Extravagance because you don't need the extra deck and it is free draw power, and then you can play, obviously because it's that 2, we play 2 Nadia's Servant for the Dogmatica engine, which is really nice, and there's some really cool cards in the extra deck that you can send that really help this deck out. Then we play the 1 Called by the Grave, because Called by the Grave is really strong, and then we play the 1 Sea Stealth Attack. This is what you search for your starter combo, so you use Phasalia to send the Legendary Ocean, summoning the Leviathan. Leviathan adds Sea Stealth Attack, and when you activate Sea Stealth Attack, it activates Umi, your Legendary Ocean, from your grave. So when this card is activated, you can activate 1 Umi from your hand or graveyard, and while Umi is on the field, this face-up card gains these effects. Once per turn, you can banish a water monster you control until the end phase. This turn, face-up spells and traps you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So this is good protection if your opponent tries to lightning Lightning Storm you or Twin Twister. It just protects them, and you can also synergize it with the Sea Stealth attack, the Sea Stealth 2, I believe, because the Sea Stealth 2 summons it during battle phase. Then you may use the Sea Stealth attack to banish the monster so it will not get destroyed at the end of battle phase, and it will return to the field, which is really, really nice. Also, at the start of damage step, if your water monster whose original level is 5 or higher battles an opponent's monster, you get to destroy the opponent's monster, which makes Kaioshin basically indestructible by battle, which is really nice. Then we're going to play 2 Kaioshin of the Reef. This is really nice because you send a face-up Umi you control to the grave. It's basically like for consistency. You can activate Umi and set this, which still makes it fine. It's basically combo anyway. You send 1 face-up Umi you control to the graveyard to special summon up to 2 normal water monsters and or monsters that specifically list Umi in their text with different names from your hand and or deck in defense position. Then, if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon any number of level 6 or lower normal monsters from your hand and or deck until the end of your turn. Of your next turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except water monsters. So this locks you into water monsters, which is not a big deal because the only thing you'll probably special summon is Ecclesia and Maximus, which is fine because you normal summon Ecclesia anyway. Then we play the 3 Infinite Impermanence and the 1 Dogmatic Punishment to round off the interruptions for the deck. It's really, really good. It's really awesome. It really works so nicely, and it can defeat a lot of decks in this day and age. The extra deck, you basically play like big attack monsters, whichever you want, just for the Dogmatic Punishment. You play the the Intis for the Nadir Servant and the for the punishment as well, and then you play 1 Omega to add back the Intis, which is really nice for Maximus. You play the 1 Bahamut Shark because sometimes you can make Bahamut Shark. You can make Abyss Dweller, so you can play the Abyss Dweller as well. Then we play 3 Totally Awesome because anytime you send Totally Awesome from the extra deck to the grave, you get to recur any of your water monsters back from the grave, which is really, really strong, and you can summon it off Bahamut. So that's really nice as well because you can Punishment with Toad or Nadirs with Toad and add back your Phasalia or your Leviathan, which is really strong. Then you have the Charmer. We just play the 3 Charmers, the water one, the light one because of the Dogmaticas, and the fire one because of Ash, because why not? And then we play 2 Miss Starboy. If you guys want to play anything else, you can throw in your ideas. This is just a quick extra deck build. But there's so many cool ideas that you can play in your extra deck that makes it awesome. You don't really go into it anyway, so that's fine. And side deck, we've just thrown in 3 Godala because it will become the 1 non-water monster they control. Then you play the 1 Dino Wrestler Pankratops, which is strong. 3 Artifact Lancia because Lancia is insanely good. You also need back row hate this day and age, so Harpies is really strong. Also Mind Control, I'm just playing that for the shits and giggles. And then we have the Cosmic Cyclone at 2. We might swap this out for Twin Twisters, but we don't want to lose too much. Then we have the Droplets because Droplets is insanely good because we want our field spell to kind of go off. And then another option is you can play Abyss Storm. So Abyss Storm is really, really good because you can send 1 face-up Umi you control to the graveyard, and it just clears all the spells and traps on the field, which is really, really nice because it literally helps you with back row, so it's for more back row removal. There's also a whole bunch of other cards that you can search for that may have Umi in its text. So for example, things like Leviathan Daedalus, which is really nice because it's a free normal summon and it can destroy all other cards on the field. That's an option to look for. If you want to go full on out, you can try the Neo Daedalus, but that is pushing it a little too far. There's obviously a whole bunch of other cards you can try, like Legendary Fisherman and everything, that will be really good, but this is still a really good deck to try out. A lot of cards that synergize with Umi, but from what I've seen, this is the best list to look at. So that's me jumping back into water, because I used to play Mermails back in the day, so it's cool to jump back into water and see how it works. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck list. I look forward to see what you guys are going to be playing with the upcoming sets, but this is what I'm going to be looking for, and I'll send you a video of when I start playing it in locals when it arrives, because we're obviously going to do the box opening of the set, and then we'll see how many of these things we can collect, and we'll play this deck at locals and see how it does. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and from me, Frisby Moonsong, I will see you in the next video. Cheers, guys. Yow!